Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another exciting week of Fractured Orders, episode 17. We are on the 17th session of this particular campaign. I'm glad you all could be joining me. Pardon me for a moment as my food arrived a little bit late. I'm still eating it, which is delicious, by the way. It's not Taco Tuesday, but, you know, somewhere in this world or universe, perhaps, there is a relative thing known as Taco Tuesday, some other planet. That's what I'm doing right now. So, without further ado, why don't we go ahead? Looks like we're only missing one for right now. Looks like Kai. Probably just putting the kids to bed. Sure, everything is fine, and he will be here, as I have seen him online today. So, go ahead and turn on Discord and see how everybody's been.
More like Prison Break.
Guys, I have a tattoo. I mean, like on my back of the entire
planet.
Of the entire planet's blueprints.
Good. That was a great thing to walk into. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm glad you all could be here. It's gonna be another. This is I don't know if you know this or not, but this is the 17th session that we.
It's a lot of sessions.
It is a lot of sessions, but hopefully there will be many, many more in the future. But I'm more interested to find out how all of you have been for the past couple of weeks, and especially Toasty, who missed a week, unfortunately. So, start with you, Koosh. How has your week been?
It's been uneventful by far. That's basically it. Nothing
Uneventful is good, though, right?
Sure.
I know for most of us, we don't like having events to occur. That usually means
I guess.
consequences. You have to pardon me. I'm shoving this delicious chorizo pulled brisket taco in my mouth.
When I'm eating carbonara right now. So.
But it's delicious. Well, short and sweet, I like it. Mulan, tell us about your week.
My week's been pretty okay. The job that keeps being delayed was once again delayed, but it will be done next week for sure, which is nice to know. And I've been doing some work on the new flat. Actually, tonight is my last night in this flat. I'm moving in tomorrow. There'll be a bunch of like going back and forth and stuff that needs to get sorted, but that's kind of exciting. I had a whole crisis though, because I'm only moving like 10 minutes away, but that takes me out of the catchment area for my 3 favorite delivery places.
Oh,
so
man,
I had a
that
bit
sucks.
of a like, yeah, and I'm like, there's other places that are good that are going to be around there, so it's not like the end of the world. But I was just like, so who do I order from today? I don't know, but it all worked out. And new place is coming together really nicely. I don't have the internet sorted yet, but I ended up having to go with the lesser company, but they offer free Wi-Fi as well, like if you're one of their members, and they happen to have a hotspot right outside, so I'll get like decent Wi-Fi until I get mine up and running. And it gives full, really strong signal in my office, which is where it's the most important.
That's good. And
That's good.
So last week you were having issues. Is that because you were not at home?
Last week I was in Austria. I was on my girlfriend's company ski trip. This week I'm home, and next week I'll be in my new home, but on dodgy public Wi-Fi. And then the week after that, I'll be fully fledged at home, good Wi-Fi, everything good.
Fully fledged dodgy Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Fully controlled dodgy Wi-Fi. Well, that's good. Hi, welcome to the party.
Hello.
Are you suddenly so loud? I don't understand. Just...
Am I? Me?
Nope.
Sorry, I just broke up.
You sound fine.
Cool.
Kai, tell us about your week.
Good week. Nothing very special, just regular family stuff, busy.
Kids are back at school?
Yep. Back full throttle, yeah. They're excited meeting all the friends again, and yeah. Good times.
Well, that's good. That's good. More time for you, obviously, which is also good.
Yeah. I usually just end up sitting, if they have someone over visiting, usually ends up me sitting in the cellar with them playing on the PC. I bought 4 Xbox controllers and set up a living room PC for the kids to game on, and we all have all kinds of local couch co-op games.
That's awesome.
So whenever they have people over, I usually end up sitting with them, trying to kill each other in fun ways.
You're definitely the cool dad, though, right? Like, everybody wants to go over to your house because you have the cool house.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be.
That way.
It's a good place to be, I think.
Yeah. Hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, welcome. Glad you could be here. Toasty, hello.
Hello.
Tell us all about what's been going on with you.
I'm dying right now.
Okay, good. At a faster or slower rate than the rest of us, because technically all of us are.
Faster.
Oh,
faster than everyone
We've
else.
already had this conversation.
Right. I have not slept for I don't know, 48 hours. So
Seems like a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, if you suddenly go incommunicado, we will know why.
I'll do my best.
We believe in you.
I believe in me too, but belief, whatever.
Are
Anyway.
do you drink caffeine?
No, I don't touch the stuff.
That could be a problem then.
It
it could be a solution as well. Having not touched the stuff, 1 cup of coffee will get you through multiple hours of anything right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any coffee nearby. I do have juice, so I've got sugar at least. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's just been. We did New Year's and Christmas or whatever. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, how was your holidays? We heard about everybody else's.
Oh, I just had some friends over from like way out Midwest, and they hung out for Christmas, and we, had a nice, quiet family Christmas.
Those are nice.
I guess extended family, not like my family, but my friends who are family, I guess.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that's a good way to do it, especially as adults. That's usually what it devolves into anyway, unless you have a family of your own.
And then New Year's was pretty quiet. We drank a little bit, but not really excessively. We're like all in our 30s now. We're not in that area of our lives where we're like needing to party all the time.
I slept on New Year's. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I stayed up just long enough to send everybody the Happy New Year text, and then I went to sleep.
I think we pretty much did the same thing. We all came downstairs and we had a shot of like port or something like that, and then we left. We all went back up to our rooms and like slept or played video games or whatever. It was pretty chill.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Z, hello.
Wait.
How has your week been? Tell us all about
it. Mostly uneventful, except for I finally got all of the individual things I needed for my Christmas gift from my girlfriend, so we're starting to do some sous vide, and it's been awesome so far.
Oh, you got a sous vide cooker thingy?
Yeah, and it is amazing. Like, sure, it takes a while, but like, I got the one that's like the most popular on Amazon, so it's got Bluetooth and it syncs like with Serious Eats has a a thing on it so you can like look up one of their recipes, and it'll tell you, okay, you need to cook it for this temperature for this long. So it'll like, you can just press a button on your phone on the recipe, and it'll start it cooking for the right temperature. And then you don't have to do anything for like 2 hours, and then it takes like 2 seconds to sear something. It's great.
Yeah, sous vide's been very popular up here in California
Yeah.
lately.
So we're gonna go to like Pike Place Market or something this weekend, get some fish to try next.
Oh my god, salmon?
So I
Forget
just
about it.
Googled sous vide. I went to sous vide on Amazon.com, and it has not helped me figure out what a sous vide is.
So it's what's called an immersion circulator.
Yeah.
You put it in water, and it heats up the water and circulates it to an even temperature. So what you do with a protein or something you want to cook, you put it in a bag and like immerse it in the water, and it cooks it on every side, unlike a stovetop or even unlike an oven. So
Basically,
it's a
basically
very
it's
even
restaurants. Restaurants have been using it, especially steakhouse places and such have been using it to pre-cook almost steaks for to a perfect degree, and then just sear them in the pan afterwards.
Mhm.
So you can get
yeah. Like
Yeah.
you can cook something and leave it leave it out or whatever, or put it in the fridge and then finish it later and sear it, and
That's
you're good to
answered
go.
all my questions, because the first thing I found on Amazon was vacuum seal bag.
Oh,
And I was
yeah,
just like,
so-
I'm so confused.
So the thing with vacuums, so I'm just using like Ziploc bags because you can do the water displacement thing.
Yeah.
But if you get a vacuum sealer, if you put like a sauce inside the bag when you seal it, the
Yeah.
sealing sucks it into the protein.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
Pretty awesome.
I think I need.
Well, I'm glad it's working out for you because it's definitely one of those things that
Yeah.
might.
I had to get a bunch of stuff for it, but it's been awesome. So I highly recommend one.
I am experiencing some connectivity issues just all across the board. I can tell, just based on what's going on. So I don't know exactly what's happening with my router, but it may be possible I need to restart it or something. It's definitely an internet thing, not a computer thing this time, which is strange. But yeah, cool. Anything besides sous vide?
Not really.
So for me, I have been binging a lot of shows because I don't really do anything else besides sit in my house and get fat anymore. I almost binged the entire 4 seasons of Peaky Blinders this weekend. It's a great show.
Ooh, do you like Peaky? Oh, okay.
I want nothing more than to be Thomas Shelby, just at all points in time. I just want to be that man always. So that's good. And I also caught up with Blind Spot. I finished off, and then I told everybody about
like
Chance.
Blind Spot.
Chance is pretty good.
I've been
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Finished off all that, so
I've
yeah.
been watching a documentary series called Myths and Monsters, and it's actually pretty good.
I think I've heard of that. Yes.
It's on Netflix. It's like about like myths and monsters.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Shocking.
It's basically it like goes over like how myths are like created and stuff like that. Like the different kinds of myths and what might have prompted it historically. So, yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's,
For like if you're into writing and stuff like that, it's pretty cool.
I might have to go check it out. I feel like I've heard of it at least in passing, or maybe via something else.
Mhm.
I think it's called something else, but I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, was there another name for it at some point?
No, I think I don't remember what it's called. I started watching it, but I didn't get through the first episode before I was interrupted, so I haven't seen it. But it seems it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty neat.
That's good.
Anyway, you're binging a bunch of shows?
Yeah, I'm basically just catching up on all the shows that I am supposed to watch as a human nowadays.
I
mean,
binged a whole bunch of depressing documentaries, so
True.
That's pretty much all
that's
I
my
watch
favorite.
is documentaries anymore. I love just anything documentary.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely fair. No, I've just been watching a bunch of shows. Back at work now full time, so that's always fun. So that's it. I did apply for a promotion at my job though, so hopefully that will go through. I think I have a pretty good chance, so we'll see.
Okay.
Don't want to speak out of turn, but we'll see.
I thought you were moving to Colorado.
That is not occurring for quite some time now.
Oh, okay.
So, but makes perfect because I can apply for this promotion now and hopefully get it and hopefully make even more money in the interim.
That's good. Money is good.
Money is
good.
Money is good. Yeah, I'm finally. It's one of those things like with all of the other bad shit going on in my life. I am very thankful to have a really good job which supports me without having to get a second job, and I can go out once or twice a week if I want to and have a few drinks if I want to, or I can just sit at home if I want to. That's one thing in my life that actually has worked out recently, so pretty happy with it, to be fair. And I have all of you, all of my wonderful players that I get to run RPGs for. I have been really craving though playing. I've been not that I'm burnt out on GMing. I love GMing. It's literally my life, but I've been really craving I just want to play Dungeons and Dragons and I just want to fucking kill things. It's so hard for me though because I am such a self-critic that applies to every other GM that I've ever come across.
Yeah.
So I try as hard as I will. I always end up being my own worst enemy if I'm ever playing in a game. But what are you gonna do? I guess
you know what you like. I guess
exactly. I know what I like, right? It's not to be too arrogant about it, but I wish I could just clone myself and then run a game for myself. That would be amazing. Because the other thing is, a couple of my other players have tried or offered to run games, but it's even harder when it's one of my other players because I do, and not to freak you guys out or anything, but I do a lot of psychological research into how my players act in certain scenarios so that I know exactly how to put them in certain scenarios that will cause them to be either uncomfortable or happy, or I like to know how people tick. And so when it's one of my players who's running a game for me and I know everything about them that I know how to push their buttons as a player to get them to do what I want anyway. And then that's no fun for me. So
I am somewhat afraid right now.
All I'm saying is I'm a terrible person, and you all may or may not have dossiers on my computer. So there you
That's
go.
fine.
That would be interesting to see.
Not the first dossier on me, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's funny. I'm not really joking. I do have notes about every single one of my players and their personality traits.
That's fine. I do the same thing. Actually.
But Megan one time told me to prove it. And so I literally read her dossier to her, and then she got mad at me because she's like, how do you know me better than I know me? And I'm like, this is what I do. This is my job, right? This is how I do things. This is my process. So there you go. Speaking of needing to do things, though, and having jobs to do, you all have inserted yourself into an interesting scenario on the planet of Tatooine. And to do a quick recap before we get into the admin stuff here, you all made it to the planet Tatooine. You met with a couple of different individuals. We kind of closed things out with my Strika, in the sense that we actually were able to, transfer duty and obligation for Jax. He's gone up and he's started to work his way back up in the fold of the Arcana Syndicate. By giving this information, which is great. It's part of a big personal goal. But another big personal goal that we have that is now on Tatooine is that we're on the hunt for a Crate Dragon Pearl. And Crate Dragon Pearls, for those that don't know, mechanically, they are the stones that Crate Dragons eat that help them digest food. And as they tumble inside of the digestive tract, they get molded into these very smooth, very shiny, pearl-like objects.
Mm-hmm.
And then when a Crate Dragon dies, obviously you can then extract the pearl from it. They don't really pass in the system until they're too small to mean anything, until they just get broken up into dust. So unfortunately, one of the only ways to get one is to literally kill a Crate Dragon and then extract it from its belly, right? So that being said, that's obviously a task in and of itself, but in addition to that, the one place where Crate Dragons are known to be, being Tatooine, being the home world of the entire Arcana Syndicate, you can't just go hunt Crate Dragons on their territory because they're business and everything has to be done in a very professional manner, and mostly they have to make money off of it. So, in the interest of people who do want to do things like hunt Crate Dragons, the Arcana Syndicate has done these great Crate Dragon hunts a couple of times annually. So I guess would be like buy or try annually. They do these great Crate Dragon hunts where they invite a whole bunch of big game hunters to the planet. Not necessarily just in the location you guys are at. It's probably going on across the planet at different locations. And they invite a whole bunch of big game hunters to come hunt Crate Dragons. They offer rewards and prizes, but they also take fees, and it also boosts the economy of the entire system, which is controlled by Arcanus anyway. People come here to buy goods, people stay in rooms, people, they rent speeders, as you all have talked about. So both the local economy of Tatooine and the greater economy of the Arcana Syndicate are bolstered by these hunts, right? And also it's a way to legally go and hunt these things, because otherwise you don't really want to be running from the Arcana Syndicate because you won't get far, is kind of the deal with that, at least inside of their own territory. But you guys are PCs, so I'm sure that wouldn't have been a problem if you had decided that anyway. The other person we met was a hut. A very interesting, I would say, jovial hut. Yeah, and his name is Corla's Bib. And Corla's Bib, well, he's a character, as you all know. Tosi, I will tell you that Mouse decided not to go meet with the hut, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
The rest of the party went and met with the hut. I hoped that was okay with you.
I would assume Ken wouldn't want to either, because Ken was technically owned by a hut.
Well, without scanning, documentation and getting the VIN number off of Ken, I'm sure he's fine. But you all impressed him, and you were able
Don't
to...
ask how.
You were able to negotiate with him to get some things that... to soften the blow of the entry fee, essentially. There was a brief moment, however, that was really, really cool that the party ended up talking Kin out of. But Kin did at one point say that if you waive the entry fee and we lose, I'll become your property. Which was interesting, to say the least.
Ken!
Ken also instructed the party not to tell Mouse that he had...
Mouse doesn't know that.
That he had attempted to do that. But in addition to Ken lifting the platform that the hut was seated on, and then also Zian lifting the hut with his mind, there was a lot of lifting going on.
Yeah. All I wanted to do was shoot some fruit.
Yeah. Besides Jax wanting fruit to be thrown in the air so he could play the Star Wars version of Slice It, or whatever that game is.
Fruit Ninja?
Fruit Ninja, there you go. Yeah, the Star Wars version of Fruit Ninja.
I got a lot of successes on that.
Yeah, I'm sure. We instead lifted the hut, and he was impressed. and he enjoyed your display. He enjoys some things we know about this hut because I think he is somewhat important to note on a lot of different levels. He's not quite like other huts. He's clearly not as perhaps controlling or as demanding as other huts, but you can definitely tell that he's crafty, right? Like, he's not only did you get on his good side, but he kind of got on your guys' good side too. And there's no telling when he might collect on that. For example,
Mouse is not happy right now.
when the negotiation was occurring, he tried to slide in there at one point that like, oh yeah, and the droid? Great, perfect, I like this deal, let's shake on it. And then had to be explained again with eyebrows raised that wasn't actually what was going on. But Corlez is a good guy. He's certainly
Quotation marks good guy.
I think you guys are quotation marks good guys, if we're being completely fair.
I mean, I'm a good guy.
I
I
am a
didn't
good.
do anything.
Jax likes to consider himself neutral.
Ash would like to consider some of
What
the
causes a
features-
man to go neutral?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Tell my wife I said hello.
Perfect. So after dealing with the hut and dealing with Mai, you all essentially were cast back out into the world to plan your hunt. So the first part of the session is definitely going to be planning. There are rules. The hunt doesn't start for a couple of days, so you guys have a few days to kind of burn getting ready. Because we know that that light speed or hyperspace doesn't count in Star Wars, you could totally go somewhere else and come back and be just in time. Because apparently, never mind. You know what? I'm not going to get salty about.
In this system, hyperspace takes time.
Yeah.
In official canon, hyperspace doesn't take time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's magical.
That was that Last Jedi jab in there a little bit. So you all have to plan your hunts. And the rules, as I have written them, I'm going to list them off for you. So take notes, if you will. The first rule is that no use of vehicle-borne weapons. So essentially, speeders, like mounted cannons, ship weapons, anything like that. And it also says it probably has an asterisk, and it says below that while you can use spaceships to fly between ports, like if you have an idea that there's a closer port, so you don't have to travel as far in a caravan, you can use your spaceship to travel around the planet, but you can only land in sanctioned landing areas. You can't just go out onto the planet and land and bring something back. With the exception of if you kill a crate dragon, if you need to return crate dragon to said like verification station, you can use your spaceship for that. They don't
There's
expect
a
you
lot of
to.
addendums on this single rule.
You forget there is a hut behind this,
Yeah.
so it's very important that everything is exactly correct. It does say that the use of explosives is totally authorized. The use of any sort of man-portable weapons. So like, if you guys wanted to go find some freaking missile launchers, that's totally cool. If you wanted to rig up IEDs with, torpedoes or something, that's totally cool too. That's 100% fine. But the addendum to that one, the asterisk on that one is, it needs to be discernible that it is a crate dragon. Because if you just obliterate it and nobody can tell that it's a crate dragon, then there's not much use to that.
Not that we're gonna do it, but would like annihilating it, but also getting a pearl count.
Maybe.
I don't know how strong they are.
I think that would be an argument that would have to be made.
Okay. Not that I'm suggesting it. I just want a little clarification.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And like the deal is, like, if you bring a skull back, you could have found a skull just in the sand somewhere. You could have bought the skull from somebody and then brought it back. So there's like a rigorous testing phase. If you don't bring back like a head or body or tail even, of the actual creature, then there'll be testing done to make sure that it is legitimate. Third one is, in the event that multiple groups of individuals do end up killing a crate dragon, the actual measurement for who wins is the size of the pearls inside of their gullets. Or I should say the size and amount, actually. It's the size of the pearls and the amount of the pearls. Now, interestingly enough, the smaller and more compact a pearl, the more it's worth. It's not like normal things where...
Sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Those golf rules.
If it's killed by a group, as in like us and another hunting party.
No,
Multiple
if
dragons.
several groups succeed.
No, if, like,
okay.
let's say multiple groups find and kill a crate dragon,
Yeah, okay.
and you both return with it at the end of the time limit that's given. So the smaller and more compact a pearl is, the more it is worth, because the longer it's been inside of the crate dragon. So it's kind of a reverse, it's kind of like golf, right? You want the lowest number here. The larger the pearl, the less refined it is, the less compact it is, the less it's worth. So in the example of, like, if you were looking for a lightsaber focus, Ian, you would want a very small, very compact, diamond-like crate pearl. Because obviously you can't put, like, a fist-sized stone inside of a... Well, I mean, you could, but I don't know how that would work out for you.
Maybe if you're a bigger creature, like a Hurglik or something.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
picturing like a lightsaber handle with a massive fucking pearl on the top of it, and then the blade is just super wide, like a broadsword lightsaber.
Yeah, totally. This is when we get into, like, force mauls, right? Where you just have, like... The crystal's actually it's just one big long handle, and the crystal's just at the top, and then they just lightsaber, small little lightsaber blades come out of the every point of it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Force
more than a
mace.
sharp blade.
Yeah.
You know what would be great is if there was a lightsaber gun that could just shoot laser. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh wait, you mean everything?
Yeah, but
every other one?
does your blaster have like breach 3 or something? I don't think so.
True. Good point.
Wait until I get more mods.
So,
Yeah.
the next rule is that no parties of greater than 4 individuals are allowed. 4 individual sentient beings. Here's the cue. Droids don't count, because droids aren't really people.
They aren't. It's true.
Yes.
So
Exploited.
the group of you does indeed fall into that category.
Disappointed.
Also, it does state that the contest providers are not liable for any injury, death, etc., right?
They aren't.
Be it from a crate dragon, be it from sand people, be it from exposure, be it from whatever, other parties, because then that's the next rule is PvP, quote unquote, is totally authorized.
Yes.
If you want to shoot a bunch of other hunters in the head so you have a better chance,
Don't get too
totally
excited, Jax.
okay.
I'm morally opposed to that.
Just remember
I am more ambiguous.
just remember they can also do the same to you.
There's no
They
airlocks.
want to start shit. I'm okay with that.
There's no airlocks on the planet for me to suck people out of, so I'm pretty sure
Well,
I'm
you
not gonna
have
be killing anyone.
You don't know this.
thing.
In one of the sessions where you weren't here, Jordan rolled like a double triumph on you closing a door, and instead of closing the door, closed it on top of people and took them out of the fight that way.
Really?
They weren't dead,
Yeah,
okay?
they weren't dead.
I specifically didn't kill them. You just trapped one of them, and then the other 2 spent the rest of the encounter trying to get him out.
Oh. Right.
They were only dead a little.
They were only a little dead. They were only bisected, like, slightly.
Yeah. Bruises, maybe a couple broken ribs. Nothing serious.
Missing legs.
Nothing
any-
serious. So yeah, obviously, any hunter that wishes to engage another hunter in combat is totally authorized. And in fact, you all would probably know this, or Jax at least you would know this. That's probably a reason why some hunters show up. Like, if they can pay 250 credits to steal a bunch of other hunters' gear and then sell it, they're gonna do that.
Oh, those Gamorreans are definitely.
That's a good possibility. Yes, because a couple of
Jackson
Gamorreans. Yeah, a couple of Gamorreans with some axes are probably not the most well equipped to bring down a crate dragon. If we're being completely honest.
Shh. They're very well equipped.
So, there is that. What are some other rules? Let me pull up my notes here. No, actually, I think that about covers like all of the guidelines. There are probably some other minutia things, but before we do admin stuff, does anyone have any questions on like that contract that you guys now have?
No.
Oh,
Good.
I should say this too. There's no restricted weapons either.
Oh, cool.
So, like, if you wanted to bring restricted weapons or have restricted weapons for the hunt, totally okay. It's probably one of the few times why, like, while on Tatooine, if not working for Arcanus, that you're allowed to have restricted weapons on you.
I have a question about restricted weapons in terms of, like, this setting.
Yeah.
Since there's, like, multiple, like, factions.
Yeah.
Does, like, restrictions change from faction to faction?
So, yes and no. In almost every of the major factions that we have, restricted weapons act just as they normally would. None of the more civilized factions want people walking around with disruptors and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, in the Outer Rim, and in some of the more lawless country, for example, the Arcana Syndicate, the Hutt Space, some of those places, restrictions may be in place but not enforced, right?
Yeah.
And then in the Outer Rim, in the planets that are not really aligned with anybody, it's based on the local government, if there is one. A lot of times on these planets, there may not even be a local government that controls anything. You know, it may literally just be a militia. So restricted weapons obviously would be much more acceptable in those locations.
I also wondered, like, is it, like, more restricted in some areas? Like, for instance, like, the Remnant, maybe?
Yeah, so there are definitely places that will not allow, like, only allow sidearms, for example. No, like, rifles of any sort. That's usually based on, like, the location that you're in those places. So, like, walking down the street in public, you'd probably be okay with any non-restricted rifles, right? If you go into a bar, they may be like, listen, you can't bring rifles in here. Sidearms only.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
All right.
But yeah, and in the Remnant, certainly there are, like, the military worlds probably don't allow any of that nonsense. And in fact, maybe they do allow that nonsense, but everybody else has bigger guns than you. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody, all of the military there has bigger guns than you. So even if you had big guns, you probably wouldn't want to use them.
Okay. Good to know.
So, administrative stuff. I think that I actually forgot to add experience for you for the last session. So why don't you go ahead and add 15 experience, Toasty? Because that's what we got last session.
Okay.
In addition to that, did anybody spend any experience on anything that they would like to say?
Not last session, but the session before that, apparently I had spent experience. I have Spitfire now.
Okay, and what does Spitfire do?
If I make a ranged light attack, I can, against any like being, I can allocate additional attacks to anything within range.
Okay, fantastic. So you can essentially hit multiple targets with one attack. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good, especially for a game that doesn't really allow multiple attacks in the same turn. Unless you're obviously, and even dual wielding, it's not really multiple attacks, right? It's just
exactly. So
more attacks on the same target.
Exactly. It's 2 attacks on the same target. Now I can attack 2 different people at the same time.
Cool. Awesome.
Pretty fun.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I got the talent Precision Strike, where I can, if I inflict a critical injury, I can suffer 1 strain and change the result to any easy critical injury.
Ooh, so
and
you
I
get
got
to
the
choose.
improved version as well, which allows me to suffer 2 strain and change the result to any average.
Cool.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
can choose the injury that
That
they
is
receive.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Pardon me while I Google the critical injury chart.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna keep upgrading that until I get Supreme, where I can change any hard.
Dead. Now I crit you. Dead. No, I crit you. Dead.
Quite possible.
Almost, but not quite.
Yeah, close, right? I
Yeah.
think it requires like 150 plus to actually die.
Yeah, I can rip off arms.
Yeah, exactly. And then beat them.
That's awesome.
And basically go full Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I'm actually
I'm gonna
gonna
show that Wookiee what droids do when they lose.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and pick up dedication now that I have the points.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
What does dedication do?
It gives me a +1 to one of my abilities,
Yeah.
which I'm gonna go ahead and grab. I think I'm gonna go ahead and up my intellect to 4.
Nice.
So I'm now smarter than I ever was before.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be useful, I think, for your character. So,
I
yeah,
I
go
put a
ahead.
point in discipline since it's been coming up, and it's the roll for attacking with move. So
Yeah, it does seem important then. To pick up rocks and throw them at things.
Yep.
Or pick up things and throw them at things.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have a second ragged planetary because, drive-by speed.
Yeah, that might be important in this
Yeah.
particular run. Although there was talk as well. I remember last session, you all talked about perhaps getting banthas to ride as well, as opposed to getting a speeder. But I don't know. That's totally up for you guys to.
We should
I
drive
can't
by
fix-
and everyone should just shoot.
I can't fix a bantha, but I can fix the speeder.
That is a good point.
might be
as well.
hard to get banthas too.
Yeah, I think
Unless-
there's also the sand camels, right? Like there's
The dewbacks.
Yeah. I think I gotta look at what they're called now because I was looking at them today actually.
Sand camels.
Or EOPs
Yeah, that's what I was
from
talking about.
episode 1. Yeah, those are EOPs.
Yeah, Yopis. So you can totally have those as well. It's another thing that you might be able to have.
I don't know. An air-conditioned speeder sounds good.
Yeah, it sure does. The problem would be
And then,
finding an air-conditioned speeder on Tatooine, but I'm sure you guys have enough
I
craftiness
know
to
who
do
might
that.
have an air-conditioned speeder.
You know, a couple
Yeah, I think we
people.
need to go for a walk, Jax.
Yeah. Kid and I have a plan.
Good.
Do you need any assistance, like negotiating?
You're welcome to come if you want, but don't get in our way if shit goes down.
I'll join you because I know spears. I can say if someone's calling bullshit.
Great.
I'm
Uh,
joining you because I'm pretty sure that you guys are actually going to hotwire a speeder, and you're going to need someone to do that.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
sure,
I plan
no.
on using the key.
So, before we get any further, why don't we go ahead and roll some Destiny?
Okay.
Good start.
There you go.
Boom.
Ooh.
Dash is feeling the power of the dark side today. So I think it
I
is
need
4
that.
and 4. It looks like to me, because you're still a light side paragon, right, Zian?
Yes. Yeah, I'm next step too, so I get +1 strand threshold.
Cool. So 4 and 4 is the Destiny count. So it is. Yeah, it's completely even. There's no stronger influence from the light or the dark side this session. Also, since you guys will be spending some time here, I want everybody to go ahead and reset your strain thresholds for right now. Or not your thresholds, but reset your strain. Because you guys will have time to rest before you adventure out into the world. Those are actually the other rules that I was talking about that might matter because you all probably will need to supply up for this sort of a mission. So in a couple of days, the hunt starts, and it goes for approximately 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to go out and handle your business. Some hunters may spend the entire time out on the dunes those entire 2 weeks, which obviously requires a lot more supplies, but they cover a lot more ground. Some hunters may only go out during the day or the night, and then come back to whatever outpost they're currently operating out of. So just
So we
understand that
need to buy supplies and just
supplies for
prep
2 weeks.
our-
And this is one of those moments too where I normally don't make you guys care about encumbrance or any of that BS. But going on a survival mission to go hunt crate dragons will be an opportunity to probably figure out how much you can actually carry. You know, the speeder obviously will act as a pretty good source. If you guys get a hold of a speeder, it'll act as a pretty good source of encumbrance, and you can carry most of your equipment in that. But, you know, understand where your limits are as a character, because it will matter.
I have 7 available.
So,
That's a
cool.
good point. What's my available encumbrance?
There is no
So-
obligation trigger this session, just so everyone's aware.
Oh, that's nice.
How?
Nice.
We have like 90 or something.
No, you guys
Nah,
only
man,
have
man.
you only have 60 actually, believe it or not.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
because
that Dash has reduced his by 10, and I've reduced mine by 5, and then you've gained 5.
yeah,
I think.
So-
I'm still waiting
Um,
for that to happen because that's gonna be fun.
Jordan, did I reduce one of
I have-
my obligations?
Did you?
Mine
I'm
has
not sure.
Oh,
I'll
yes,
have to
you did.
do,
Yep, you should have
cool.
reduced that one. Yep, the obsession one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way or just down?
Does it only have 5 right now?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you have succeeded in your goal of doing that, so you're no longer obsessed because you've started on the new path, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Perhaps we'll find an opportunity to add some more that's related to that. But for now, you don't feel obsessed to work on that, right?
Yeah, cool. Oh no, sorry. No, that's okay. We'll talk after.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I throw it to the group of you, and I will put you back on the map that we were utilizing.
Is this right after our meeting?
Yeah, it's essentially right after your meeting. You guys are all seated around the table. You're starting to make plans on what to do. So the scene here is,
Oh,
I think that Jax and Kin wanted to go do something.
Yeah. Just before we do, Ian would like to ask. Tian, you mentioned that crates are attracted to shiny things.
Yeah, so we got a when I was researching, we have the
That like guy Dyson.
yeah, we've
Yeah.
got detailed movement patterns. They're nocturnal. They're pair bantha. They like to hoard shiny objects. This guy tracked a dragon because there was a destroyed ship in the area, and we have a heat map of potential sightings from the exact the whole Crate Dragon hunt history.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so Kin will nod to Jax, and then say to Mouse, "Is there any way that we can make me extremely shiny for this?
You want to be super shiny?
Super shiny."
Yeah, I just need to get like a buffer and like maybe some wax and oils. Shouldn't be too hard.
Could you look into that? Me and Jax need to walk outside for a bit.
so I'm gonna give this isn't just random blood loss. Toasty doesn't know this, but when we came into this cantina, these Gamorreans were eyeing us very suspiciously. They referred to us as fresh meat,
Yes.
and they implied that to each other that they were going to try and steal Kin. So
We're gonna
they're
give
up
them
to
an
no good.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kin will walk very alone outside. So I'm gonna make a big point of being alone, and I'm gonna walk outside.
Okay.
Having given the nod to Jax, Jax understands what Kin is thinking here. He's gonna wait for the Gamorreans to potentially follow, and if they do, he's gonna follow them.
Be careful.
So the plan is I'm gonna walk outside, and I'm gonna go somewhere. If I see them following me, I'm gonna go somewhere where there are no people, which would be a perfect place for an ambush for that.
Gotcha, yeah. So, Jax, as you're watching them, they definitely notice Kin get up and leave, and I think you see them finish their drinks.
So which way am I going? All right.
Kind of like
So, as someone who is not on this plan, would a warfare check be?
I think that's a
suitable to,
subterfuge
like,
kind of.
No, I mean it's just like figuring out like what are you doing. So it's like how would someone discern that, or could I basically decide?
Well,
like,
I
this is
think a
my-
subterfuge check would apply here because it's not just like trying to do something sneakily; it's trying to discern stuff too.
You mean like skullduggery?
Yeah, whatever the
They
checks
did
are.
mention what they were gonna do, so I technically know what's going on. So
Did they? Did they speak it out loud, or was it just between?
Alright, wait, can I pause the moving for a second?
Yeah.
So looking at this map, these things up here are catwalks, right?
Yep.
And are they like easily accessible?
So there are actually specific ladders that like lead up there usually from like inside the certain buildings.
Alright, and there's no one else around me, right?
There's probably like people milling about, but not that many. It's
Oh,
Tatooine. Nobody's outside
never
for
mind.
very long.
Would I know where there's a specific ladder?
Why don't you? Why don't you roll me a? No, I don't think it's a roll. So you remember seeing one inside of Corluz's palace, right? And typically they are inside of the locations. There's one inside the outpost center, right here. That leads up, but there's also like guards there, right? That
What's this? Is this one?
No, that's a door that leads inside. There is one inside the hunter's lodge, but it's back in like one of the back rooms.
So just to get a sense of how the reason I'm asked to pause, if I use my grapple hook to get up onto one of these, would that be super?
No,
like,
you could absolutely do that.
Sweet, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go up to this one right here.
Okay. Does the grapple hook have rules for like latching onto things and stuff like that?
I have to roll a ranged light.
Okay. Is it just like an attack roll basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So it is. As an action, make an average range light check to secure the hook to an object within medium range. Once secured, action might be taken to pull yourself aloft. If you want to pull another character aloft, it's an average athletics check.
Gotcha. I'm adding a black dice to the roll simply because these catwalks are exposed to the elements in Tatooine, which are not pleasant on stuff. So there's the potential for some like additional threat here.
Cool. I probably don't. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna be all game breaky, so it's fine. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, go for it. No
Ooh.
problem.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be all game breaky. I'll take some
No.
strain though.
Yeah, so you get up there. What do you think a triumph looks like in this scenario?
I think a triumph in this scenario would be that from this better vantage point, I see a perfect place for Kin to lure them, and I say, and I message him over the comms. I also let him know I'm up on the catwalks.
So, Jax, immediately out back, you can see this kind of leads into like an open area that is removed from all of the other people. It looks like it may connect it like back around to the palace area, but there's nothing back there. You can see from that vantage point very easily.
Cool. So that's what I'm gonna do with that.
Mm-hmm. And Kin, you saw the arrow, right?
Yeah.
He can direct you to that. Cool. But real quick before we continue moving, Dash, you wanted to try and figure out if you like you can see kind of what they're doing, right?
See, the thing is, would I know what Kid
So
and
I don't think anyone in the party knows exactly what we're doing, but like we're also not hiding it from people. So like
So
Especially everyone else who was with us, they saw that the Gamorreans were being weird. They saw the Gamorreans eye up kin. They I think it's safe to say you guys might not know exactly what we plan to do with the Gamorreans. Because to be honest, I don't think we know yet. But I think you definitely know that we are luring the Gamorreans away to ambush them.
So, well, Dash discerned that maybe it would be a he could be a wild card and he could show up as just kind of like you have this thing where you're doing it. I'm just like standing right near a corner and
If Dash
as
if
they
Dash
pull up.
if Dash came out the cantina door right now, Jax would see that and would calm him to like be subtle, but let him know what the plan was. That we're shadowing these Gamorreans.
And what if I go through here? Through the garage? Or wait, is the garage door close here or what?
If Jax sees you, so if you do it within my vision, Jax would tell you what the plan was, basically.
Is this in your vision?
Yes, it is.
So, Dash would excuse themselves to Cyan and Mouse and say, I'm gonna check on the ship. I've heard that Tatooine is problematic for my type of ship. I'll be right back. And he kind of like goes apart.
Never mind.
Here and now the thing is, as I'm walking through, and going for this location, when I come out of this location, do I need to roll a stealth check to hide myself? As I happen to turn a corner, see him, it's just like, oh, gotta hide. Can I? That's my logic too.
Yeah, no,
So
I think that because you weren't like you have to react to being hidden, whereas Jax rolled the triumph and is clearly hidden, and Kin is clearly not even trying to hide at all. So yeah, why don't you roll me a stealth check? I'm just gonna make it average, and I'm giving you a boost dice because I think Jax's triumph in this tactical scenario can allow you that.
Okay, come on.
No problem.
Yes.
So you step out, and like one of the pigmen like turns to you and looks, and you play it off as like you lean up against the wall. So take a strain because you're like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
But you succeed, and they think nothing more of you. As they continue to walk by.
Does Jax see me?
I do.
I
would just.
do
I
I see you?
Do you see me?
Do I see him? I mean, the thing is, will I see you from this location over here?
Can you see? Yeah, I mean, the catwalk's not solid. Like, you can see Jax up there.
So, Dash is gonna do the smart thing and do the two sound like comm signal that we used first at the hookah place, so we don't alarm them. Just like, who the hell is talking?
Oh yeah, sorry. That's another thing I wanted to say. Can we just assume at this point we've like agreed amongst ourselves on like double clicking means hey, I'm in trouble or I need help or something?
Sure. Yeah.
What about I'm nearby? Should be just a one click or something, or
Sure.
so you hear a click from a comm, and you happen to see Dash wave a nonchalant hand. Would that alert the pigmen, or are they turned to not look at that?
You pass your stealth check.
So I guess Jax hears a click and sees a leaning Jax spots a leaning Dash wave at him and just kind of like, hey, I'm here. But without saying it.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry for repeating my words. My thoughts are kind of jumbled sometimes.
Fine. So, it's okay. It actually gave me time to do something. So I appreciate that. So, yeah, they continue to follow Kin slowly along the path.
And I would calm Dash and be like, hey, I'm up here, like follow me rather than following them.
I saw you. I'm gonna Roger,
yeah,
I'm
so-
just gonna,
So
add
as you
in
get over there, Kin.
walk.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why I left that door open, but there you go. We'll that. There we go.
So the catwalks don't extend past this point.
They don't, but you see, so Jax, you should be able to see that there's a ladder right here.
Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side of a wall.
Should be able to see that there's a ladder right here,
Yeah,
just the top of it. Now, I don't think you can see past it.
I can't see past it now.
So I will move you just to the top of the ladder so you can see past it.
Okay, cool.
You'll still be on the catwalk, but there you go.
Okay, and I would, I would motion to dash to like wait here.
He's gonna slowly just like keep his distance, just like I'm not following you distance.
Yeah. So you see
Kin is standing with his back turned.
Yeah, so you see the Jax. You
Looking
can
at
see
twin
you
suns.
see them come out of the tunnel, and you see that they have their like vibraxes in their hands now, and they're like grunting and hitting each other, and they're like nodding, and they round the corner and they see Kin, and they kind of move up to flank him. Kin, at what point do you react?
So at this point, Jax would double click his comm to, like, hopefully that would let Kin know, okay, they're behind you or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Kin will turn around and act really friendly. Just, hello, I remember you from the bar. Can I help you with anything?
And they're speaking in Gamorrean, right? So it's weird, like, pig language, and they're like, you seem to have lost your way, droid. Here, we'll show you back to where you belong.
Oh, that would be great. Could you... I'm sorry to ask you about this, but me and my friends are new to this hunting. Could I take a look at what you have brought? So I can tell them what supplies we should bring.
And so they kind of, like, look at each other and they say, for what? We're here to bring you.
What?
Okay, so now Kin will just step into a defensive posture.
By the way, at the clerk's dash, had drawn his blaster at this point, just holding it at his side.
Yeah, absolutely. So...
I was hoping they were going to lead me to their speeder or something.
No, you're not sure that they have a speeder, but also they're Gamorreans and they're real dumb.
Yeah.
So they see you drop into a defensive posture, and they kind of like, bring their axes up, and they try to like corner you in, and when they do, they say, "Nah, there's no need to hurt yourself for a lot of money. Just come with us quietly."
Oh, you fucked up.
Okay, so do you have surprise rounds in this version of Star Wars?
You can if you get a triumph in initiative.
Yeah, so I think that what I will do is here's how I want to do it, and I can do this in Roll20 really easily. So I think that let me dice. So I'm gonna give Dash and Jax. I'm gonna give you guys a boost dice to your initiative.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So why don't you go ahead? The two of you only click initiative.
Okay.
I'm assuming I can do cool because I'm prepared.
Yes, if you two are prepared. The Gamorreans are gonna roll vigilance because they're being ambushed, right? Apparently it didn't add a boost dice. I'll just roll one for you.
Oh, cool.
Cool. There you
Wow.
go.
3-3. All right. I'm
Did
gonna
you
hold
add a
off.
boost dice to me, or?
I can't. Apparently the dice pool doesn't add them to the initiative. That's fine. I'll just roll it separately. There you go.
Ooh.
So this is actually a 3-3. This is a
1-3.
1-3. Cool. All right, Ken, go ahead and roll initiative.
Would that be cool?
You're prepared, right? You're ready
Yeah.
for this fight? Yeah, they're gonna roll vigilance. It doesn't matter for them.
Yeah.
If you'd let them grab you, maybe you could have rolled vigilance, but
oh,
well,
now I got a boost.
Okay,
that
then.
would be 2, right?
Oh, you just
Okay.
rolled cool. You didn't roll the actual initiative. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Why you gotta go?
Just roll the actual initiative, and I'll change the numbers to whatever that to that.
Combat.
Also, yeah, you see, you got the boost dice because of
Yeah.
the dice pool. There we go. Okay, so you actually have 2-0. Is what yours is.
It's been so long since we had combat,
I
right?
know, right? Oh, okay, so let me roll for the Gamorreans. Now, the Gamorreans are rivals, so they're going to roll separately. Unprepared. They are very unprepared for this. They are extremely unprepared for this combat right here. So, the 3 of you all get a turn before they get to go. They're advancing on you with their like crude Gamorrean vibro axes, right? Looking to cut you down, Kin. Jax, you can take the first shot. Dash, you could rush in there and take the first shot. Nobody's gonna miss a couple of Gamorreans on Tatooine, right?
Jax can do it because he's prepared, and Dash is just stand there. He's gonna wait for the blasters to start flying.
Alright, so what range is this?
You're short range for sure.
Alright, so I'm gonna aim once for free because of my mod.
All right.
Also because
dice.
they
have not gone, correct?
Because they have not gone, I get 2 boost dice.
2 additional boost dice, so you're up to 3.
2 additional boost dice. Yeah, I have quick strike rank 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my maneuver to aim again.
Okay, it's 4 boost
I
dice. Got them all in there.
I've wanted this for so long. Alright, and now I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna be attacking with both guns. So
Okay. On the darker brother or the lighter brother?
we'll go for the lighter brother.
All right. Roll when ready. I have your 4 boost dice in there.
You have to upgrade the difficulty.
Oh, I do? Oh, I have to give you a difficulty. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a short range shot, so.
Oh!
Well, they're alerted.
So.
I was just gonna say, I think you should increase the difficulty, but that's
yeah. So here's the deal. We finally rolled a despair. Good lord, how long has it been?
It should have been increased the difficulty, but yeah.
Oh, was it increase, not upgrade?
Yeah.
Oh, that does matter then. Hold on.
Oh.
I want to do it fair. I thought it was. You said upgrade. So
I also rolled the wrong gun, so this does actually matter.
Okay, so you only got 3 successes and no despair.
I rolled the wrong gun as well, but that's fine.
Oh, you rolled the grapple gun.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I think we said at the very beginning of this we're just gonna re-roll crazy shit. So you have an average check. I'm giving you 4 boost dice. Roll the correct gun. We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Better. Hilariously.
So many blue dice.
So hilariously, it's the same. It's literally the same roll, but you've got a triumph this time. So that just proves the dice gods were always on our side anyway.
That's true.
So I assume you want to use 2 of those advantage to hit with the second weapon as well.
Yes, I'm gonna hit the other one with the second.
No!
I'm gonna hit them both.
Because you have Spitfire.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna hit them both.
Don't worry, I don't think he's gonna kill him with this. They're Gamorreans. They're pretty thick.
So the other gun does 1 less damage.
Okay. Yeah, just roll the other gun. Just roll its button. Because the mods and stuff matter, right?
So the mods only oh yeah, because I have the pierce on the,
right.
Yeah.
Right. But if you had the other one, so so the top shot 7, 8, 9, 10. So you deal 10 damage. You have 3 advantage left over. Do you have anything to activate?
So what I'm gonna do is, because I have rapid reaction. No, what's it called? I have sorry about the mess. Decrease the critical rating of a weapon by 1.
Okay. So do you want to?
I'm gonna I'm gonna reduce the critical rating of my quick trigger, and
Okay.
I'm gonna use the triumph to crit as well. So I'm gonna crit them both.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I see what you're doing there. So you're gonna cause a critical hit on both of them.
Yeah.
And the lighter brother is going to take the 10 damage, and the darker brother is going to take the 8 damage,
9.
right?
9 damage. You use the same roll.
Yeah, but pairs 2 and
Oh,
1.
fair. Yes, absolutely correct.
Oh, but then the lighter brother actually has to get affected by Pierce too.
Yep, correct. Pierce 2, totally fine. So
Cool.
it's going to be... So he takes about half his hit points or half his wounds threshold. But I'm going to roll his critical. And you don't have anything that adds to that, so I'm just going to roll the critical.
Yes, I do. I have 2 ranks of lethal blows.
Okay. Alright, so he gets a plus
add
20 on
20.
his critical?
Yeah.
Right, fantastic. So, plus 20. Or it's just 20, not plus. We did that. We made them
crazy amount of loot.
Okay, so he gets a setback dice on all skill checks until the end of his encounter.
All
So
right.
he's dazed from that. We will put a...
Do they have the swirly thing?
I'm looking for a confusion symbol. Here we go. Perfect. Boom. He's dazed. Alright, and then the top brother takes 9 damage, but does not have Pierce 2 on this one.
No.
So he's not going to take as much, but he does take the critical. I'm just going to roll... They're the same character. Just roll... Okay, well, that's...
Nice.
You keep 73 because it added the 10 for his brother already being critical.
I already cleared that, so I don't know why it added 10, to be honest. So we'll just use that one. I don't know why I had already cleared it, but sure.
Did you add the 20 for little bros?
I did on the first one.
Alright, yeah.
Okay, so you deal your damage to them. The brother to the south, he stumbles and kind of like grabs onto the tent and pulls it down, and then he comes up. He's kind of confused. He's blinking a lot. He's not sure what's going on. His ears are ringing. The brother to the north kind of gets... You wing him, essentially, Jax. Like, you deal damage to him, but he's a Gamorrean. He's pretty hurt. He's pretty sturdy. And he's also confused about what's happening. But, you know, what have you. You still have another maneuver if you want to suffer 2 strain.
I'm good.
So, who's gonna go of one of us,
Alright.
Kin?
So Kin, both brothers are still standing. They're confused. The one to the south is definitely confused about what just happened. So he may not be a threat, but you can tell the other one is still coming at you.
I'll let Kin do it. I'll be the first one to strike.
Okay.
Alright, so Kim will just say, prize. And he will hit the darker Gamorrean. And I'm going to use Martial Grace. I'm going to suffer 2 strain to add damage equal to ranks in coordination, which would be 4 now.
Okay, so you're going to add 4 damage to the attack.
Yeah.
So this is melee versus melee, which is an average check.
Brawl.
Say it again.
Brawl. But yeah, it's 2 dice. Should be.
Yeah. And they don't have any... Nope, they just have knockdown. So, go ahead and attack him. Have your 2 dice in there. See how badly you brutalize him.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Me and Kin are so happy.
Do you not have like a weapon associated with that, or you just...
No, this is just unarmed damage. So it's
Oh,
4 plus 4 plus 2 damage, so it's 10 damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna change the critical. I'm gonna do a critical with the triumph.
Okay, you want to do another critical with the triumph?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna see what that is, and then maybe I'll change it.
Okay. So it's 10 damage, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So he's still standing because of his soak. Do you ignore soak? You don't have pierce or anything like that?
No.
So we'll roll another critical injury for him, and we will apply critical offset by 10, obviously. You don't have, like, vicious or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So the next critical he receives is increase the difficulty of all brawn and agility checks. Why does it say 2 there? I don't understand. Oh, you know what it was? I know what it was. Hold on. Just realized. I was just deleting the critical instead of clicking heal. I think that might be what is happening there.
Sorry, it says total.
Increase the difficulty of all brawn and agility checks by 1 difficulty dice until the end of the encounter.
Ooh, that's fun.
So any brawn or agility check, including attacks, so including his attacks, all get upgraded by one.
All right, I'm gonna change it anyhow because I want to use.
Oh, right, yeah. So what are you gonna change it to?
I'm gonna suffer to strain, and I'm gonna change it to overpowered.
Overpowered. What's the number on that?
That's 76 to 80. Attacker may immediately attempt another free attack using the same pool as the original.
Wait a minute.
That's nuts.
If you
Can you just keep chaining that?
If you keep
Yeah.
going crits, it's like you're just like, I'm just punch in the face, punch in the face, punch in the
I
face.
can only do is I can use the improved. I can't do it for average critical injuries like more than once per round.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So it is
So
limited,
only
but
once,
you get to roll with the same dice pool. It's already up there. Why don't you just go ahead and roll it?
And I'm gonna use. I'm gonna add the 4 damage as well.
Okay. Oh,
that's not a.
But he
not
missed. So,
Yeah.
but you do get something good here, right? Like you do get a triumph.
Knock him down.
Fucking triumph.
So you get a triumph. You don't deal the damage, but you do get a triumph here to do something to him.
So, all right.